Okay, so excuse if I look like, ridiculous. I haven't taken care of myself for a while, so that's kind of just an issue. But either way, I wanted to hop on here and just talk a bit about Sonic because there's been so much shit going on. I mean, really, I barely even know where to begin with this shit. Where we last left off within the Sonic universe was Sonic 2, which, by the way, that is the best Sonic movie interpretation that is in a video game, just anything. Anyone who says one is better or any of that crap, you're lying in every single conceivable way. You genuinely have to be stupid. I do not believe it. But like, for Sonic to have gone from having one of the ugliest character designs I've ever seen to being this big of a franchise, like the video game movie, is absolutely insane. Anyhow, we left off with Sonic, with Sonic 2, and around the end they said that they had discovered something from like around like 50 years ago, I think, Project Shadow, which no one could have been as hyped for that as me. Oh my, his little edgelord, he's adorable, but that would immediately imply that it could not have been Eggman, because, 50 years ago, really, he's not that fucking old. Maybe Jim Carrey is. But it would imply that they could be going for the original story, to see a kid get fucking shot, which I'm not against seeing in a movie, but I know a lot of people are. So I'm thinking they could go with the original story, but maybe change up some things, I would hope. Actually, no. They could very well go for that story of Eggman's, I think, grandfather creating Shadow as some sort of thing to try to cure Maria. But we really won't know until we see it. And as for right now, where we currently are in the universe next would be the Knuckles TV show. The show looks genuinely incredible from the advertisement we were able to see. The CGI is just as good, if not a bit better than the movies, which, absolutely nobody was expecting that, because like, you'd have to be fucking stupid to expect that, right? But it doesn't add a lot story-wise. You're not getting a bunch. Like, you get a few new characters or something, but really it is just focused on Knuckles, which I think is a good thing. I don't want it to fall down this MCU type pipeline where everything has to be huge, everything has to be, the next big thing, add to the overall grand story, which in terms of MCU has been getting pretty fucking boring. But instead, it's just a nice look at this character. You get to really bite down the character, just feel the character itself and all the fun that they could possibly have with that. The adorable scenes of Knuckles trying to train this guy to be some sort of warrior fitting into his character is just like, it's a really nice detail, and along with keeping the actor, it's just gonna make Knuckles so much more, which I'm really happy about, because Knuckles is definitely my second favorite Sonic character, period. But yeah, this will be more of a hold off until Sonic 3, something just nice and simple, and I like that a lot. But with these sort of projects, there usually comes, casting announcements, and more specifically, because this is gonna be much more interesting, I'd rather look at the casting for Sonic 3. The casting is mostly the same, which would kind of sound disappointing from like a news perspective, but that's perfect. I think everything was already perfectly casted, and I wouldn't want to see any of it change whatsoever. But what's shocking about that is to see Jim Carrey back. I genuinely was one of the people who did kind of believe he was just gonna quit, because like, I don't know, I fall for that type of shit. People say that, I'm like, oh, well, they're done, but he wasn't. It's like that typical trick you'll see in wrestling where they're like, oh, well, I'm retiring, and they're just kind of not. It feels like that. Like, I feel like I got bamboozled, but like in the best, most happy way possible I could put this. Now, where it gets really, really interesting, like, the new shit. Apparently they casted some like young girl. I don't know what her name is. I'm not that big of a fucking nerd. But a lot of people are saying she could be Maria, which once again ties into doing that Shadow story that I'm really hoping to do. Because the edginess of the character is something that I love, that within this universe, he shouldn't be this way. It doesn't fit at all, but he has this edgy-ass backstory, it's an edgy-ass personality. It makes him so charming and endearing. And in a way, I hope to see that put to film. It'd just be funny, especially see parents' reactions, but that's kind of a shitty thing to say. And the fact that we still haven't even gotten an advertisement is definitely the most interesting part about this. Like, we've gotten casting, logos, shadow teases, no sort of advertisement for Sonic 3 at all, which leaves so much open to the table. Like, you can already see how hyped they're getting people, like how hyped I'm getting, and they haven't even dropped a scene yet, just a little snippet of anything major. And that just leaves so many possibilities, so many unanswered questions. What new characters could they bring? What they're gonna do with Shadow, which I really hope they go for the edgy thing. I have to keep mentioning that. Um, we don't know what the plot's gonna be, what game it could actually be an adaptation of, although there are theories around that I'm not gonna poke around into right now. Like, I just think it's going to be really interesting when we do get something. We'll get a few answers, but I hope they don't give away everything because I'm hyped to just experience the movie, through piracy. So yeah, I really just wanted to rant about Sonic a bit, so bye.